الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أيها الإخوة والأخوات، سلام الله
بسم الله
عليكم
السلام عليكم
ورحمته
ورحمة الله وبركاته الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome all of you wherever you are. Welcome you with the second part of Fatwa Live that come to you on Monday, the 6th day of Shawwal, the 15th of April. The first question tonight. The brother is asking, an American guy embraced Islam in Ramadan, and he had a Muslim woman at that time. And then I found out the reason he embraced Islam because he wanted to marry that lady. Then the administrator asked me to be a witness on their marriage tomorrow because I've never seen this man in the masjid after his Islam. I don't know if he really wants to be a Muslim or no. And her father is dead, so she don't have a guardian. Do you have any sin if I witness that contract? The administrator is not a person of religion. He is hesitating, but he said we don't want him to do something that is forbidden. We don't want to go to fornication. We don't want him to commit something that is a sin. Well, first of all, there are a few things we need to discuss. First of all, we do not hesitate in the testimony on someone about his Islam. If somebody made the witness, he meant with that to answer the faith and enter in Islam and to be free from whatever it's against it. And the doubt that can come to this testimony, and I will give you a hadith of Usama ibn Zayd as narrated by Al-Bukhari. He said the Prophet ﷺ sent us in a battle to a place called Al-Hurqa. So they ran away. So we met a guy. When we got to him, he said La ilaha illallah. So we killed him until he died. So I mentioned that to the Prophet ﷺ. So he told me, how are we going to meet La ilaha illallah, the day of judgment? He said, oh Prophet of Allah, Messenger of Allah. He said it because he's afraid of the weapon. He's afraid of the sword. He said, why don't you open his heart so you will know whether he said that for that or no? Why are we going to face La ilaha illallah at the day of judgment? He kept repeating it until I wished I was not embraced until that day. So when somebody makes that testimony, we admit that he's a Muslim. For anybody who would admit of La ilaha illallah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger, that he's meant with it to answer the faith and enter in Islam. But that testimony that is required of his life and the daily treatment as a different issue. These issues is on the guardian itself whenever you have the choice. So we need to take our time until his Islam is improved, until we satisfied with it, until we know that he is repentant from of putting part with Allah, and to give him our honored woman. Because marriage, there is Allah's messenger said that fear Allah in the woman because they are your prisoners, your hostages, you own them with the word of Allah. So the first thing I would do is just to give her an advice, and we leave the matter to Allah Azza wa Jal, because the Sharia is to bring the best of goodness and to push the worst of evil when there is a conflict. So you need to bring the best of interest so you could leave one and to push both harmful things, and hopefully you keep the least one of them. And we ask Allah the guidance. The second question about your salary? Is it from inheritance or is it on the people that are the one is saying that uh, my my father's wife is how do you divide the salary? It is if it is from the things for the employee, like if it's continued, then it will be part of the inheritance. Depend on each one's part of the inheritance. And if there is no inheritance, then it will be divided for the 1/8 for the wife. For the wife, there is 1/8 because there is somebody else to inherit. Because Allah said, if you have son, then get 1/8 of what you have left. The rest is for the kids. Each boy get double the share of the girls. But if it is a grant from the if it is a grant from the employer to a specific person, then it is go to that specific person. But if it is general, then you look at what is meant, because the fatwa part in Egypt said that it's not something you take out of inheritance. It will be who it went under his name. And he have admitted the forms. It's like part of social security that the government is putting it to spend on those who the deceased used to take care of during his life. The inheritance, there is no difference between elder and young as far as they deserve it. But the salary, no. It will not be given to the older who is capable to gain money. The money you get at the end of your employing, it will be divided to all the inheritance as far as each one they get their share. Is the sadness and anger and the sorrow on the mistakes of the nation in the past, and what is putting us in an area where very painful. That would be objection to what Allah Azza wa Jal He has decreed. What's the difference between sadness or sorrowness and return the decree of Allah? Because Allah Azza wa Jal does not punish you because of your tear, but what happened with your tongue. The son of the Prophet died, and he cried, and he was sorrow. He was not rejecting Allah's order, but it is a natural feeling of a human being that is full of compassion. That for his son that was done, he said, "O Ibrahim, indeed the heart will sadden and the eye will cry, and to your departure we are saddened, and we say what pleases Allah. We all belong to Him, and we all shall return back to Him." The Sharia does not object your so it gives the sadden to an area to from the sorrow. And the word if is not an absolute bad word.
فيذم في مواضع
It is
ويغفر في مواضع.
rejected in some areas, and
الذي بوب في
like
صحيح
Al-Bukhari, he had
في بعض
a chapter
المواضع
that it is
يستدل
allowed.
عليه الحديث بذلك. مثلا لو توكلتم على الله حق توكله لرزقكم كما يرزق. هذا تعليم علم نافع. لو هنا في مقام تعليم العلم النافع، فلو هنا ليس
Well,
لو
it
استقبلت
is
ما
for
استدبرت ما سئل
education.
في حجة الوداع. لو استقبلت من
And
أمس استدبرت
the Prophet ﷺ said that if he knew what's going to happen, I will not take the cattle with me or the livestock.
فهو يصل بالمال رحمة
And in the hadith,
بالله به.
the one who has money, he has the best status if he spends it in the sake of Allah. And the other one, he have knowledge, but he don't know the money. He said, if I had money, I would do the same action of this person. This is wish of goodness.
لو أن لي مالا لعملت فيه بعمل فلان فأجرهما سواء. إنما متى تكون مذمومة؟ عندما تكون
When it is wrong, it's when it's following something of this
إما طلبا
area, or either
إما طلبا
run away from Allah's decree or you're asking for it. That's why the hadith came in. Don't say Allah has measured and He does whatever He wish.
لكن قل قدر الله وما شاء فعل، فإن لو تفتح عمل الشيطان. يبقى متى تكون مكروه؟
So when is it not recommended? If it is used to compete for this life.
لو فعلت كذا لحصل لي كذا وكذا. أو هربا كان يقول
So it's running like if so and so, I will not have it to me. 1, 2, 3.
كما قال المنافقون
Like the hypocrites who said at the day of Uhud,
لو كانوا فينا
if they were among us, they will not be killed.
هم الذين خرجوا يوم أحد وأصيبوا لو أطاعونا ما قتلوا.
If they
فأجابه الله قال قل لو كنتم في بيوتكم لبرز الذين كتب عليهم القتل إلى مضاجعهم وليبتلي الله.
and Allah test what's in your heart, and He will check in what's in your heart.
أو تمني القربات فهذا مشروع لا بأس.
But to recommend or wish on the good things, it is allowed at all times.
فهل فاتني فضل المغفرة بقيام شهرين؟ أرجو أن لا إن شاء الله لا حرج على فضل الله عز وجل، لأن الإنسان إذا قعد عن عمل اعتاده لمرض أو
I used to have the night prayers
عمل من
the
أجل
last night of Ramadan, and it missed it. Do I miss the opportunity of forgiveness? No, yeah, I have good assumption with Allah Azza wa Jalla. Inshallah, everything is good.
الإمام يقرأ من
The Imam is reciting in the middle of surah,
قبلها في الركعة
and then
آيات في نفس السورة. على كل حال الترتيب يعني أمر مندوب إليه، لكنه ليس بشرط ولا يقدح في صحة الصلاة، فهون عليه الأمر في ذلك واسع يا رعاك الله. يعني هذا ليس تلكيس، ليس التلكيس المذموم الذي عنه برضو أخونا
the person with the whispering, may Allah heal him.
اللهم اجمع له من أجل
The Sheikh is making dua for him.
يلاحقنا
He's still following with his questions.
يقول
He's saying, I was joking and I said to his wife, is that part of it? No, ya Habib.
الذي خلق الحب
By Allah,
إن الله لا يعبد إن الله لا يؤاخذ بما حدث به نفسه، إن الله تجاوز لهذه الأمة عما حدث به نفسه ما لم تعمل به أو تكلم به.
as long as don't say it, or and that's general for everybody. So those who are sick and they have the whispering of shaitan, none of that divorce ever happened. Even if they stood in front of the whole world and they declared it. Unless they intended from their inside. accepting it. They are feeling comfortable with it,
هذا قرار
and that's their final decision.
لأنه مستغرق
Because they are always closed-minded, and there's no divorce in darkness like this.
قبل ساعتين
If you're with us 2 hours, and there's difference too many hours, and I'm sure it is before Fajr, and you are awake.
أن تتابع سؤالك فلا أملك إلا أن أدعو الله لك اللهم أذهب عنه الذنب
May Allah take you and heal you.
اشف وأنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما ارمي كل هذا الكلام
Take all of this whispering behind your back. Don't put any face.
جنايات الطلاق يا
And the divorce word does not happen unless you have the intention.
هتعرف ايه دي؟ العزم الجازم على الطلاق بغير تردد. هل انت اتخذت قرارا نهائيا
Did you take that you want to divorce your wife?
محض اوهام لا وجود له الا في خيالاتك واوهامك
This illusion only in the illusions that you have.
هل يجوز في الاسلام تجميل الفلان
Can you
بين الرغبه في السن حده وقوفها في زواج حتى تقدر ان تنجب
can you reduce the egg
في طفل
in the tubal pregnancy? The sperm has to be from the husband, and the egg from the wife, and the womb for the wife.
او جمل البيضاء
To freeze any of them after all, there is nothing wrong with that.
في اطار العلاقه
As long as we are still in the same marriage, same husband, same wife, same womb.
اليوم
We do it today, after a year, 2,
بعد 3 بعد 4 لا
4, that's no problem.
يحترم الاختلاط
But don't
ان هذا امر
be careful for the mixing.
والاختلاط المطلق
And that means you have different attributes, and this is something that goes from one to another. It's not a biological connection between a male or female.
او بين اب وطفل انما هو لحمه شرعيه تنتقل من السلف الى الخلف وله قواعد في انتقاله بارك الله فيه فاحنا جرح اصبعي فوضعت لزق الجروح هل أضع
My finger got injured, and I put
في فرق
bandage on it. Do I make wudu on it?
الجبيره لا يشتاط وضعها على طهاره
Well, the
تاخذ مده
casket, it's
خوف او الجوع لابد ان نلبس على
the
في مده
socks you can, but it's day and night,
اما
or 2 days and night.
وعلى الكسور هذه لا يشترط ان توضع على جراح لانها توضع فجاه الشخص فجاه يجرح وفجاه وضعوا له هذه الجبيره ما كانش مرتب نفسه هو هيجرح بعد ساعه مرتب نفسه هو متوضي قبل ان يجرح
No one's going to make wudu, and the accident happens very suddenly. So whenever it gets tight, the matter gets wider, and the hardship brings the ease.
اريد ان اشتري من تاجر
I want to buy from merchant 100 lamb. I'm gonna pay a deposit. After paying the deposit, I will put it for people who deal with me. If they like it, I'm gonna take a deposit and then send the lamb, and they will send the best.
حرام
So is that something haram?
لمن يدافع الشخص اللي يمتلك عربون وهذا العربون يمنع الاهل لشخص
That deposit will prevent them from selling to somewhere else. First of all, don't sell what you don't have. The one that you don't own, don't sell it.
على سبيل السلف
Unless there is a guarantee.
عن السلف بيع موصوف في الذئب
Something that is described with a price that will pay. Like if you say, I have animals.
حتى لو لم تكن تملكه
If you don't own them,
كنت وصفا
you have given good
الكهانه يجوز ان
description, then you can sell it with the adjustment of the price. When you own it, then you give it.
الفرق بين بيع شيء معين
The difference between selling something specific, the mobile will sell it to you.
بيعه الا اذا كنت مالكا له
You cannot sell it unless you are the one who owns it.
ثم مفكر
But I could sell you a mobile with this description 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the bay of a salam. You can, but you have to bring the price earlier. So if selling that you have on it indeed, and it's in your possession and your guarantee, and it goes bad, you are responsible for it, then that's your lambs.
مع خلاف في بيع الأشياء قبل قبضها. في فرق بين الملك والقبض. بيع الأشياء قبل ملكها متفق على منعه إلا على سبيل السلم. أما بيع الأشياء قبل قبضها وحيازتها هذا محل خلاف.
The matter is disputed, and some of the scholars who completely stopped it. The Prophet ﷺ used to hate for people to sell or too many selling of the same place. This will be very bad for the person who pay the end. You are just sitting on and you're selling a buy, but the product still in one place, did not move, and it's going up and down, and the one who is the last one who buys, and he will be harmed by the prices. That's why somebody said that you have to have the Prophet, it was forbidden that it will be full until the merchants put it in their own safety. So if 20 volt, then it is under your possession. And some people put the are you just really you finalize and you still owner of the land? Let's suppose to this one died. Who's gonna pay? Or broken his leg? Who is supposed to be charged? If it is under your warranty, then it is you are owning for it. So you could sell it, even though you don't know before or after. And if it is just a reservation, not owning, you have to have the ownership before the deal is happening. Someone came with negative ideas about a certain condition. I think it's the same brother who we always ask Allah to heal him. And say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم and worry of what benefits you. What is the boundaries for the wife or obeying her husband? Well, the things that has to do with the marriage. For example, the wife don't like certain type of food. Her obedience to love it and to eat it forcefully, otherwise it will not be a gracious wife. Or a woman who don't like the stuffed calabaza. Well, the matter is not like this. The obedience of what had to do with the marriage itself.
هذه زوجة. الأمور الشخصية البحتة لا تدخل في هذا الإطار بارك الله. ويعني بالمناسبة
And by the way,
سلطة الزوج
the authority of the husband is shown on the things that are allowed.
تقييم المباحات.
He could restrict what is
فإن كان
permissible.
واجبا بأصل الشرع
What is
أوجبه
required,
الله ورسوله.
Allah Azza wa Jalla,
وكان
Messenger,
حراما
but
بأصل الشرع حرمه الله ورسوله. كلام
and what
في
Allah
الزوج فقط. لكن
is
أين السلطنة؟ أين الولاية في دائرة المباحات؟ الخيارات المشروعة
the
للمباح. فله أن
choices,
يرجع بعض هذه
so you could take
أو أن يقيد بعضها.
some or submit,
ففي هذا
and it is a big issue.
المقصود بالزوجة الناشز.
The
الناشز
wife was nashes. Either she is not obeying Allah Azza wa Jal,
هذه ناشزة على ربها، ناشزة على دينها، آبقة على ربها عز وجل، أو ناشزة على زوجها
or on her husband. She don't follow what he is ordered to do beside the disobedience of Allah.
هل يقع الانفصال
Is the separation happened with the things that are said? I think it's the same guy.
أو لو فعلت
If you did this, something else will happen. You have a problem, brother. Inshallah. Open your heart, inshallah. Ameen.
يعني على كل حال
Either way,
إن فعلت
if you had done so and so, you are divorced, for example.
الطلاق المعلق
The divorce that is stationary, you look at the owner of his intention.
إن قصد به
If it happened, it will be considered one.
إن قصد به
If it is just to stop somebody,
منع من فعل شيء
or to do something, or to believe him,
أو أن يكذبه فهذه يمين مكفرة.
this is a yamin. You can't make a farah when you feed in 10 needy from the middle of what you feed yourself, or their clothing, or freeing as a slave. And if you can't, then fast in 3 days.
لو قال لها إن خرجت فأنت طالق، إن خرجت
So if she left, then there's no, it will be considered one divorce.
سقط الدم. مش كل ما تطلع في طلقة جديدة.
Not every time she gets out, there's a new whistle.
صيغة الحلف تقتضي التكرار، فأن قال كلما خرجت فأنت طالق، كلما خرجت حدث كذا وكذا. الأصل أن
Originally, that the swearing, it will be stopped with the half, unless the way it is, it allows the repetition.
هل التكاسل في العمل أو الروتين غير المتقن
It's being lazy at work with the routine that are not good,
بداء يجعل الراتب حراما.
make the salary forbidden. This is very important subject. We need people to know
أن الأجير الخاص
that the special employee, his time is dedicated to work. Any part of the reward,
مقابلة بجزء
it has to be of some work.
والإنتاجية في مجتمعاتنا المأزومة متدنية جدا، حتى حدثت مقارنة دولية بين الإنتاجية في المجتمعات الشرقية والمجتمعات الغربية. وجدوا أن العامل في الغرب
They found the one in the east,
بيور النت
his pure
ساعة ونص.
is from the 8 he only get 8.5,
في مناطقنا المأزومة
and in our place is 35 minutes from the 8 hours,
بنشرب الشاي وبغير
and the rest is reading phone and reading the newspaper and follow this
الجلوس على المكاتب.
when you sit
يا عبد الله
in your
أجزاء
desk.
الأكل ينبغي أن تقابل بأجزاء العمل.
The part of
إن
scholars should be met with the same poor message.
وقال نسيت وصليت بغير وضوء. طب نعمل إيه؟ لازم نكمل الصلاة. لكن قالوا يطرح من راتبه
They said he take from his salary what is equal to that time that he
لأن مصيبة النسيان تقع على تصلي الفريضة. أما النافلة مش تيجي تصليها.
The nafila, you don't have to do it, but I'm just gonna give you the intensity of the scholars about this
احرص على أن تتقن العمل وأن تجود أداءه
and make it perfect. And remember that Allah Azza wa Jalla like from you
إذا عمل عملا أن يتقنه.
do perfect. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.